Play La Bamba, Oil Country. The Oilers come out on top with a 6-3 victory over the Utah Mammoth, who entering this game were on a 7-game winning streak. And before the game started, in my pregame report, I said Utah would win 6-3. While boy, oh boy, was I ever wrong and completely reverse jinx the Oilers, as they are the ones who end up with a 6-3 victory. And I'm going to tell you right now, before I even start discussing the game and all that good stuff, I'm going to tell you right now, if the Oilers had lost this game, this was going to be the crash out of the century video, because the goals that Stu gave up, they're not great. I'm happy he got the win. Hopefully this really turns the season around for the whole group. But on top of Stu's play, in the middle of this game, in that middle of the second period, while I'm trying to watch the Oilers and the Toronto Blue Jays, by the way, Sportsnet crashed. Rogers and Sportsnet was down across Canada, and I was losing my marbles. And then when the game finally turned back on, every now and then I get pieces of the game coming back on before it would crash again. I saw Utah's 3-2 goal. I missed the Jays score 3 runs in the top of the 7th, 3 out of the 4 that they ended up scoring. I was not having a good time. And when everything came back, it was still 3-2 Utah. And then the Oilers decided to just go on an absolute tear the rest of the second period. And there's a couple things that I want to talk about with the Oilers as well, before I get into the edge visualizer for their goals and all that good stuff. The team, when Utah made it 3-2, right? It's 2-0 Utah after 1. I thought the Oilers looked a little lethargic. I didn't think they played particularly awful, but they didn't have any kind of jump to their game. And Utah took advantage of 2 opportunities. Of course, they both end up in the back of the net. Sometimes that's hockey, sometimes that's Stu, sometimes it's a combination of both. The second goal for Utah, though, when Darnell Nurse tried to dump it into Utah's zone and he just shot it right at the linesman. And then Utah came down on transition, and then they just shot the puck over Stu's blocker. I don't know what that was all about. Darnell Nurse. But Nurse did get benched for a little bit after that. He did not play much in the second period, and then he got his regular shifts in the third. But for the Oilers as a group, they're down 2-0 heading to the second period. They battle and tie it up 2-2 early. Ekholm with an absolute bomb, and then Ike Howard scores not long after off a nice feed from Adam Henrique in front. It's 2-2, and Stuart Skinner goes behind his net to play the puck, whether it bounced over his stick, whether he's just not paying attention. I don't know why Stu always feels the need to come out of his net. I know Mike Smith was around the organization when he was quite young, but maybe he shouldn't try and emulate what Mike Smith was doing by always coming out to play the puck. Stu is not that guy to play the puck. Stuart Skinner comes out of his crease, goes behind his net, misplays it, and then has zero urgency to get to the front of the net to try and make a save. Utah makes it 3-2, and I have to give the team credit. The whole group, and Stuart Skinner is included in this as well, because Stu did not give up a goal after that. He locked things down, that's a good sign, right? We're unhappy with the 3 goals that he gave up, but then he did not give up a single goal after, and the team in front of him, I think they all collectively went, you know what? Let's pick up our goaltender tonight. Let's pick up the goaltender and let's get going. I don't know what was said on the bench. I don't know if Knobloch was in anyone's ears. I don't know if it was the leadership group. I don't know if it was just the team collectively looking at that third goal and just being frustrated. But that second period from the 3-2 Utah goal onward, this game was all Edmonton. Edmonton fully was in control. They were in the driver's seat. They scored 3 more goals before the end of the second period to make it 5-3. And then in the third, the Oilers locked it down completely. Stu had to make a couple big saves. And then, of course, Connor McDavid with his second of the night into the empty net. The Oilers of years past may have rolled over. And by years past, I mean 2 or 3 years ago, may have rolled over. They may have just given up. That's one of those games where if Jay Woodcroft was still coaching, maybe they don't come back and win. Who knows, right? But this is a team where they decided collectively as a group, we are not going to let Utah win. We are not going to let that 3-2 goal and the poor goaltending ruin this night in the new sweaters. I don't have a new alternate jersey yet, but they are beautiful. They looked great on the ice. If you were at the game, by the way, what did you think of those jerseys? But the team, they did what they had to do, right? That's one of those games where you come together as a team. You just, as a unit, as a full collective unit, you just go to work. The Oilers went to work. That is the hardest working I've seen this team play since probably the second game of the season. That's when they played Vancouver, so that first Saturday of the season. The Oilers went to work after Utah made it 3-2. and they did not look back. And the Oilers, they outworked Utah after the 3-2 goal. They outplayed them, they outshot them, and they deserved to come out on top. And it's also very good to see the offense going right now. Very, very happy about that. I'm also very happy that the Toronto Blue Jays got a big win tonight. That series is now tied at 2 in the World Series. And but obviously on this channel, the most important thing is the Oilers get the win. They snap Utah's winning streak, and the Oilers historically, there's a few of you in the comment section this morning being like, hey, Edmonton has Utah's number. Of course, before Utah, it was Arizona, and the Oilers historically have played very good against this organization, and tonight was no different. Obviously, the scoreboard showed it, the shots on goal. I'm happy with the win. Is there a lot of things that the team still needs to improve? Absolutely, but this is not a time for me to freak out. I will say, though, Rogers and Sportsnet are an embarrassment to this country. They're an embarrassment to telecommunications across Canada. They're an embarrassment corporation, Sportsnet and Rogers, that is. And do not ever pay for Sportsnet Plus. They raise prices on everyone every single year. They provide a lackluster service. They can't even stream games higher than 720p. In 2025, they can hardly hit 60 FPS consistently. And then on nights like tonight, where people are trying to watch the World Series, they're trying to watch hockey, all 32 teams in action tonight in the NHL, the network goes down. It's unacceptable. Sail the high seas at all times. Sail the high seas. Do not give these corporations, do not give Rogers and Sportsnet any of your hard-earned dollars. It is never worth it. It's truly, tonight was one of those nights where it's just embarrassing. And there's a monopoly on telecommunications in Canada with Rogers, TELUS, Bell. There's no good company providing these services right now. And Rogers, they own so much of the hockey landscape. They own so much of the NHL broadcasting rights. They own so much of the network across this country. Terrible, embarrassing. If Edmonton had lost tonight, I'm just going to let you all know, my crash out would have been focused on Rogers and Sportsnet a lot more than the team. I'm happy the Oilers won. I'm happy the Jays won. That's going to be the only negative aspect of this video, is just picking on Rogers and Sportsnet. They just pissed me right off tonight. But with that out of the way, let's go over the edge visualizer for the Oilers goals, and then we'll go over the 3 stars, and then we're just going to wrap things up here. So first period, Logan Cooley, JJ Peterka, it's 2-0 Utah after the first, and the shots were 9-4 Utah. The Oilers had absolutely nothing going in that first period. Second period, Ekholm, he gets the Oilers on the board 22 seconds in. Nice job by Bouchard. Good outlet pass to Draisaitl. He's going to walk it in, and then he's going to play it across to Ekholm, and he walks in the top. He loves the top of that left circle, man, and he just winds it up, and he blasts it by Vejmelka. 2-1 Utah. And then Ike Howard just a couple minutes later. Nice job by Mangiapane and nice job by Henrique and Savoy. Stetcher keeps the play alive, plays it around. Henrique steals it, puts it in front, and then Ike Howard, he absolutely rips one past Vejmelka, his second of the season. Good for Ike Howard. He's obviously been all over it. He is a shot-first mentality player, which I love to see. And Howard was also getting a couple shifts in the third period with the big dogs, so I'm also very happy about that. And then, of course, the misplay behind the net from Stuart Skinner. You know what? No, we're not going to watch it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We all saw it. Leon Draisaitl ties the game. Not too long after that, though. Podkolzin with the button hook. Draisaitl to Bouchard. He plays it across to Wallman. Wallman with the shot. The rebound comes to Leon, and he wastes no time. This is what I want to see the team do more, right? I know I loathe and lament those shots from the blue line. I keep telling the team, stop taking weak, low-danger shots from the blue line. But Wallman, he had a shot with purpose. He shot towards the pads. He did not allow Vejmelka to try and glove it. Of course, Vejmelka catches with his right hand. He's not like your typical goalie who usually catches with his left. Shoots it off the left pad of Vejmelka. It kicks out to Draisaitl, and he wastes no time. It's just a one-timer towards the goal. Why pick the puck up and wait for a pass? Just shoot it towards the empty net. Draisaitl puts it in. Nice goal from Leon, his 8th of the season. Love to see that. And then Ty Emberson, his first regular season goal for the Oilers. I believe he had one in the playoffs. Maybe this is his first goal as an Oiler. Someone will have to fact check me. But again, Ekholm with a shot. It has purpose. It goes off of Henrique in front, off of Vejmelka, and then Ty Emberson, he absolutely rifles it. He does not waste any time trying to find the perfect pass. He just sees an open net, puts the puck towards it, and it goes in. That made it 4-3 Edmonton. And then 2 minutes after that, Connor McDavid with a great give and go from Nugent Hopkins. But this play by Wallman, the way he stepped up and poked that puck forward, and then McDavid and Nugent Hopkins, the little give and go, and then McDavid, obviously, great one-timer. He puts it in. But that play by Jake Wallman, man, Wallman is so good. He has been so good. He's been such a good addition to this blue line since he has come back from injury. Nice job by Jake Wallman to keep that play alive. Good job to pinch using his stick. Pokes that puck forward. Nugent Hopkins and McDavid connect on the goal. McDavid's second of the season. And then McDavid, he gets the empty netter. Just after the Ike Howard penalty had expired, puck comes out in front. Nice job by Bouchard. Finds McDavid, and then he skates it out of trouble into the neutral zone, fires it towards the empty net, and that's something that Oilers fans are not used to seeing. One, McDavid shooting, and two, shooting at an empty net that actually goes into the empty net. The Oilers are notoriously pretty cursed when it comes to the empty net. We saw that a lot last year, so nice to see that for Connor McDavid. A 2-goal game for Connor. Man, that would be nice to hopefully turn his entire season around here. I talked about McDavid in my pregame report, said he was on pace for 8 goals total. I was obviously being a little facetious. He's too good to only score 8 goals this season, unless, you know what, I'm not even going to put anything out in the universe. Connor McDavid with a great game. He's going to build on that. Bouchard with a good game. I believe he had 3 assists. If you take a look at the penalty summary, there were 3 penalties total in this game. Liam O'Brien, who's usually an absolute thorn in the side of the Oilers, and he's also kind of a psychopath on the ice. He cross-checked Ty Emberson. The Oilers did not make them pay, though. And then Bouchard had 2 minutes for slashing. Howard with 2 minutes for tripping Dylan Guenther. 3 stars of the game: Ekholm, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. Draisaitl, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. Jake Wallman, 0 goals, 2 assists, 2 points. Surprised Connor McDavid was not in the 3 stars here for Edmonton, but all 3 of these players were deserving. I liked that they gave Ekholm the 1st star. That was probably the best game he's played this season. Wallman, terrific game. Draisaitl, another really good game. Very happy to see that. We'll take a look at the box score here for your Edmonton Oilers. The time on ice, points, plus, minus, that sort of thing. McDavid led all forwards time on ice, 22-37. He had 3 shots on goal. Love to see that, Connor. Keep shooting that puck. That's what we need here. If we take a look at the points tonight, Henrique had 2 assists. Another really solid game from Adam Henrique. Draisaitl had 2 points. He was a +2. Ike Howard had a goal, +1. Savoy, +1. Rozovic, I thought, had another really solid game. Jack Rozovic has been terrific for Edmonton over the past 3 or 4 games here. It is only a matter of time before the floodgates start to open for him. I do hope they keep him around after that no trade clause kicks in at the beginning of November, where it turns into a 5 or 10 team no trade list. I can't remember. It's on Puckpedia. Y'all can check it out. On defense, yes, Bouchard did have 3 assists, and he was a +3. Probably his best game of the season. Ekholm's best game of the season. Wallman with a great game. And if you take a look tonight, Wallman actually played the most out of all defensemen, 1943. The ice time was spread out tonight. The Oilers did go 11-7. Stetcher only played 10:41. Nurse played 16:49. Like I mentioned, he was benched for a little bit after that terrible giveaway on the second goal for Utah. Stuart Skinner, he pulls that save percentage back to an .870, which it's not what we're looking for. But you know what? After that 3-2 goal, he mentally could have absolutely collapsed and let that spiral, and the team in front of him could have let the whole thing spiral out of control. But they went to work and they dug in. Stuart Skinner dug in. The team dug in front of them, and they got the job done. Rest of the stats: shots on goal, Oilers outshot Utah 25-23. Face-off percentage, the Oilers dominated in the face-off dot. Hits 19-17 Edmonton, block shots 13-14 Utah. Giveaways, the Oilers had 16, and then takeaways, they each had 6. The Oilers win 6-3, and their next matchup is March 24th. Now, there are no questions to answer from the fans tonight, mostly because I forgot to put out a tweet asking fans for your questions. However, you can submit your questions in the comment section of this video, because in tomorrow's day after discussion, I am going to talk about quite a few things. I have been able to do a day after for a while, so I'd like to kind of go over the road trip that they had against Seattle and Vancouver, and then this game against Utah. So if there's any questions or comments that you want to send my way, I'm going to go over a whole bunch in tomorrow's day after podcast episode. So if you're looking forward to that, smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're not yet subscribed, as we continue to build towards 8,000 subscribers. Yeah, happy with the win. Happy they came out on top. Happy that Sportsnet and Rogers didn't completely ruin my mood today. It helps when the teams that I cheer for also win. So hopefully moving forward, whatever the hiccup was tonight tech-wise for Rogers and Sportsnet, hopefully they have figured that out and we do not have to see that happen again. It's poor timing, man. It's poor timing. I mean, this shouldn't happen in 2025 anyways, especially for what they charge the fans. Now, if they were only charging fans $5 a month, it's like, you know what? Maybe there will be some hiccups here and there. No, the amount that they've raised their prices over the past few years, that should never happen. So happy the team got the wins. That makes me a happy camper, and we're going to leave it at that. So thank you all so much. Tell someone that you love them. And as always, fight like a kid, fight like Ben. Let's go Oilers. I'll see you in tomorrow's Day After discussion. Take care, everyone.